What's up, family? Welcome to Ask to My Eyes,
where we challenge you to stop playing and start pushing.
This right here is my patient wife, Fiona.
And this right here is my lacking good judgment husband, Aize.
I'm lacking good judgment?
What's up, y'all?
I'm lacking good judgment?
Pretty much. That's how you do. And, sometimes I just go on ahead and just let you get it, even though I know that what you're saying makes absolutely no sense.
To you.
It just doesn't, period.
No, it doesn't make sense.
It just doesn't meet the requirements of common sense. It just doesn't.
I beg to differ.
I'm sure you do. But again, you're basing that begging to differ on non-good sense.
No, it's based off of fact. It's based off of empirical evidence.
No, but you
wish. It's based off of experience.
You wish. You know it ain't no empirical evidence.
Can we get to the video?
It ain't based off no daggone empirical evidence.
Can we get to the video?
She don't even operate like that.
Can we get to the video?
And we're going to see if we're going to be done in 7 minutes.
All right,
actually, 6 minutes.
All right, y'all. We got a question that came in, and my wife too is going to read the question. Go ahead, babe.
I don't need you to prompt me.
Get busy.
Don't do it. All right, y'all. Got a question that come in like the head go. All right, this writer says, we love, but the stress is crazy. Hello, my husband and I have viewed a few of your videos and enjoy your viewpoints, or should I say appreciate them. We consider ourselves to be sensible, realistic, honest, sick of the craziness in the world, and loving. We've been together for 23 years and married for 20. Very good. We have 2 sons, one of which is grown and disabled, and now we are dealing with my mom, who is experiencing some mental challenges. We have a high schooler. One of us is underemployed, works once or twice a week due to job loss due to a job loss a couple of years ago, and the current care for our oldest son. Because the situation worked out where I have the full-time career, etc., admittedly, I have many demands and sometimes feel like I'm juggling a lot. Often, in addition to my career and being the current breadwinner, I also teach on the side to meet some of our needs. We don't get caught up in this so much, but naturally, hubby wants desperately to find reasonable employment and finish school, yet find security for our son. Long story there. Financial stress, we have that. Mortgage woes, we have that. Exhaustion due to meeting the needs of our son and life. Got that, and the list goes on. We even get your communication challenge discussions because sometimes we have that problem too. Hubby, depression, been there on and off for the last 8 years, with the last 2 being horrible. He is not happy with his career life. Church attendance is strained due to hubby's new weird work schedule. That's a problem. Me having meltdowns on occasion, problem. Now what we managed to do to keep all of this together is have mini dates, dinner nights, concerts, coffee outings, cuddling, talking, car talks, and plenty of laughter in our home. It's very good. Mm-hmm. We can call each other on the phone and flirt, text flirt, reminisce about the past, and definitely enjoy our boys. There's a lot of love in our home, and even in the midst of all of the stress. What is missing is what I will call our sex life. Our sex life is nearly null and void. Are we intimate in other ways? I would say yes. Even if we flirt and kiss cheeks, grope, etc., we don't get to actual good old sex. On top of that, no pun intended, my husband has asked me if I have an office relationship, and he's acted suspicious. He recently acted suspicious about one of my white coworkers that quite honestly I wouldn't be attracted to if I were down with this world. Just because I mostly enjoy the work I do does not mean I would destroy a marriage over some nonsense. Yes, we heard your talk on cheating too. Hubby agreed with your points, by the way. With our busy lives, we have challenges, but cheating is not on my mind. Hubby reiterates often that he would never accept me going outside of this marriage, and he loves me and that he is just going through a difficult time. I understand, even though I am stressed. So we're under stress. You think they under stress?
Yeah, pretty much.
And need to get back to a sex life. Our teen son is observant as all get out, so it makes it even more of a challenge. I think he's listening. Any suggestions? We just can't seem to get it together. I think I count once or twice in the last 8 months. And I'm scared that I don't even remember. When we finally do have sex, it's not that great. It lets us some spontaneous living room moment when the boys are at their grandparents'. And now that's as rare as an eclipse. Heck, if we weren't so broke, we'd rent a room. Yes, we are attracted to each other and love and adore each other. As an example, we had a bit of foreplay last night after going out to dinner without the boys, but the looming drama around my ill mom, who I hospitalized this morning, and the nosy teen put a damper on that. We try to have mini dates once a week and an evening date at a concert or event once every 4 to 8 weeks. Just to give you an idea, I think I'm fairly young at 41 and hubby is 46. God willing, we have too many years to love each other to be at this point. Please offer us some suggestions. Thank you for your time. Peace and love. Wow.
We already at 6 minutes.
Yeah. Lacking good judgment. But I let the situation school you on its own. All right, y'all. Y'all probably like, what are they talking about? All right, but this is a very interesting letter. Yeah. It's got a lot of dynamics going on in this. What are some of the things that come to mind for you?
Yeah, one of the things that come to my mind is the fact that it feels as though there is an absence of self-value in you all's relationship. And, granted, you lifted up the fact that you all are flirting with each other and you all have, to some degree, some element of intimacy. But I want to challenge you on that notion because while you all flirt, kiss, and, do all of that, the fact that hubby is questioning whether or not you're engaging in an extramarital affair indicates to me that there's some insecurity that he may be experiencing. And part of that could possibly be coming from the fact that he is underemployed. And so when I speak about value...
I'm just not getting none.
Yeah, true. But, from a man's perspective, when I speak about value, oftentimes we associate our ability to bring in some income with, our own sense of self-worth. And so if he's questioning his value, then to some degree, there's also questions around his willingness to be naked and vulnerable in a relationship, which then challenges the intimacy. Mm-hmm. Because if I don't know who I am and where I stand in this relationship, and we got all of this chaos going on around us, then it's difficult for me to be intimate with you because it requires a certain level of vulnerability. And if I'm attaching my manhood to what I bring in, then it's hard for me to be intimate with you because I don't feel as though I'm necessarily, worth laying down with or giving you what I got. So again, it's just a challenge when it comes to, as a man. And some men, a lot of men can, just give it and get it. But a lot of men, like I said, they attach their self-worth to what they're bringing into the home, which then jeopardizes or, plays a role in them having a fractured sense of self and not really willing to engage intimately with anybody because it's, requires a certain level of vulnerability.
Right. So you didn't give us a lot of information as to where the resistance is coming from in terms of not having the sex. You talk about being stressed and having a lot on your plate, and clearly you do. So I first want to validate that. You have a son who is older, who's disabled. You talk about, being the sole breadwinner right now. And so I think your husband is caring for your son a lot, that kind of thing. You all have a lot going on, a lot on your plate. So I want to validate that, number one. But here's the thing, it's always interesting to me when I get, when we get one side of the picture. And so I wonder if his side would mirror your side. Because that whole piece around his wondering, are you getting with somebody at the office and that kind of thing? I mean, on one hand, it could be what my husband talked about, but because you didn't give us a lot of detail around it, it also could be that he would actually appreciate getting some. That he might initiate a little more than you're really sensing or picking up on. That he actually wants to go all the way, and that you all have gotten into a habit that may be reinforced by you more so than him. I don't really know. But I just wonder what's really going on.
And that's real talk right there. Because how many times,
are you cheating? What's going on? Where would that be coming on if you're not?
How many times in our counseling sessions have we had the woman say to us that I thought everything was perfect. I thought we were good.
Yeah, he understands.
He understands, and he's compassionate, and our relationship.
And he doesn't really trip.
Our relationship is going well. but then they're blindsided by the fact that their man has they're just disgruntled in their relationship, and they're
Mm-hmm.
caught off guard completely
Mm-hmm.
by what's going on. So, again, like my wife just mentioned, like, where is this coming from? Some investigation needs to occur
Right.
in a relationship.
There are a lot of men, who are good husbands, good fathers, and so forth. And so they are patient. And so they do, demonstrate flexibility.
Mhm.
They are able to understand, what their woman is going through.
Mhm.
But and sometimes they fall into a habit of being accommodating. And I'm not saying this is your situation, because we don't know who it comes from more. But I just don't think that both of you all just are so busy and overwhelmed, and you're both like, oh, we're good. We just need to figure out how to get it back.
Mhm.
But, it just hadn't been a priority as much because we got all these other things going on. There tends to be one person who really would like to see that happen more. So I would just encourage you to pay attention to perhaps some of the signals or some of the very straight talk your husband may or may not give you about where he is on this. And are you really living in reality, or are you in some form kind of being in a place of denial, and you don't really understand the weight of this? Another piece I want to say is this: any relationship, any marriage that goes without sex for an extended period of time, or would be defined as a sexless marriage, in a sexless marriage, a lot of experts say that anytime you've had sex less than 10 times within a year, 10 times or less, that's defined as a sexless marriage. There is no formula for that, but that's what's out there. Your marriage is vulnerable to infidelity.
Mm-hmm.
Point blank. It just is. And so I just want you to understand that there's a gap there, and that you're leaving your relationship and your marriage open for intrusion. Mm-hmm. And so you want to make sure that you really take that seriously and that you look at that. My husband talked about something else that was coming up for me in this letter, but he talked about the fact that there's no value there, and he related that to your husband in terms of what he's bringing to the table, and perhaps that piece being attached to just how he's feeling about himself and whether he can show up in the relationship and give you some, right? But also, a lot of times there's no value on you all as a couple. You're not valuing what you need in terms of your full expression of who you are, the sexy part of you, the spontaneous part of you, all of that, and you're not honoring that in him. And so, we get caught up in children and all the things that are going on, and somehow feel honorable because of that. Feel like, because we're taking care of our family, we're holding it down, and I don't know, sometimes I feel like that's a cover-up for something else, that it ain't just that you're busy. Let me tell you something. I got a lot going on. We have a son with a chronic illness, sickle cell anemia, so we get that part. Mm-hmm. We get that part. We are in the hospital sometimes, and sometimes we're not. There are things we have to do on an ongoing, everyday basis just to be able to maintain and work and function in the world that other folks don't ever have to consider. Do we not? Mm-hmm. I mean, really, right? We got 3 other children. We would be considered a large family. We got 4 kids, not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4. We got plenty of opportunities, jobs, things here, there, going out here to speak, going out here to do that. We counseling people. We got all kinds of stuff going on. Number 1, because we're trying to walk in our purpose and have meaning into our lives. And number 2, because we have to make it happen for our family. Mm-hmm. I ain't saying we perfect. And I ain't saying this one right here ain't sometimes looking at me out the side of his eye like, woman, you need to come on here and give me some. But I'm going to make sure you understand this and understand this clearly. Sex happens in our marriage. Sex has to happen. Intercourse has to happen, not just rubbing and groping every now and then. It is healthy. It is expected by me. It is expected by him. It helps to relieve stress. All of this stress that you talked about and you referenced throughout the letter, you can help to relieve it if y'all would just get it going. So understand that when you choose not to have that, and when you say, but all this other stuff is going on, it's not that all the other stuff just pushes it out the way. There's always a choice. You have chosen for that to happen. Mm-hmm. And as we said before, in other things, in some way, it serves you. In some way, it serves your husband. In some way, it serves the both of you to not have sex. And I would encourage you all to look at what are you getting out of it? What are you getting out of not having sex? Whether it's one of you or both of you who find yourself being rewarded in some way by not having sex.
Yeah, and in conclusion, what I would say is that whenever you feel some element of apprehension, some hesitation, some reservation when it comes to getting busy, I just want you to think about one thing, and that's the swoosh.
What?
The swoosh.
The swoosh?
Yeah.
Is that basketball?
When you think about the swoosh,
you want to be nasty?
Right underneath it, the words are, just do it.
Oh, just do it.
Stop playing.
Hey! People say, stop pushing. Schedule it. I want to give you something concrete. Schedule it. Put it on your calendar, okay? Put it on the calendar. You all need to do that. The way you schedule everything else out in your stressful, busy schedules. Schedule it. That's my concrete tip for you. If you don't schedule it and give one person the responsibility for setting it up, and then you all can alternate on it, you will not introduce it back into your life. Because no matter what the underlying issues are in this, you all have fallen into a habit. You all have fallen into a way of being. And so you've got to discipline yourselves. To do what? Just
stop playing and start pushing. You want me to say do it right there?
Yeah, I was like, no, just do it. Everybody else probably get it. You're like, you didn't say the right thing.